Hey everybody, welcome back to another dicondissectional production, and today we're going to be reacting to a 21 Pilots song called Ride. Now, I've had heard, Stressed Out a couple of times on the radio, thought it was, a pretty good song, never really checked out this band in any capacity, and then I heard the song Neon Gravestones, and what this group was willing to delve into in terms of their messaging was very impressive to me, because that's like Neon Gravestones. There are a lot of songs that talk about mental illness and suicide, but Neon Gravestones was the first that I ever heard to cover a specific aspect of it that I had thought myself before and had never seen any artist bring it up. Which I felt like their take on it was a brave one and one that I respected. So, anyway, now we're back. It's been a long time, but I'm finally back to doing another 21 Pilots song. If you are a 21 Pilots fan, let me know. How should I go about this? Because I do want to get into their music. I've seen lots and lots of people say they're one of the better groups, out nowadays. And their lyrics are supposed to be really good, too. Plus they like their first few albums, they did everything themselves, and their story is pretty cool. So yeah, let me know what other songs I should check out, or if there's a specific album that's really good by them. Should I go through that in order? Let me know. And thank you for joining me. Let's get into this. If you're new to the channel, my name is Daniel, and here we react to music, and I try to figure out what the music and the lyrics mean to me personally. If that sounds interesting to you, or if you just like reaction videos, consider subscribing. Yada, yada, yada. Let's get into this. Ride, 21 Pilots. The music video is not full screened to try to dissuade blocking, just so you know. People like to ask that. Here we go. Link to the original video is down below in the description if you want to check it out.
Just wanna stay in the sun where I find I know it's hard sometimes. Pieces of peace in the sun's peace of mind. I know it's hard sometimes. Yeah, I think about the end just way too much, but it's fun to fantasize on my enemies who wouldn't wish who I was, but it's fun to fantasize. Oh, 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 I'm falling, so taking my time on my ride. Oh, 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 I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. Taking my time on my ride.
Another great thing about their songs is they're catchy as hell. That'll be the only time I pause it. Yeah, let's keep going.
Die for you, that's easy to say. We have a list of people that we would take. A bullet for them, a bullet for you, a bullet for everybody in this room. But they don't seem to see many bullets coming through. See many bullets coming through. Metaphorically, I'm the man, but literally, I don't know what I do. I'd live for you, and that's hard to do. Even harder to say when you know it's not true. Even harder to write when you know that tonight there were people back home who tried talking to you, but then you ignore them still. All these questions, they're falling like, who would you live for? Who would you die for? And would you ever kill? Taking my time on my ride. Oh, 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 I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. Taking my time on my ride. I've been thinking too much.
Oh.
I've been thinking too much.
Okay.
I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. Help me. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. Help me. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. Oh, 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 I'm falling, so I'm taking my time.
breakdown was cool.
I'm falling, so I'm taking my time. Taking my time on my ride. I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my. I've been thinking too much. Help me. I've been thinking too much. Help me. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. Help me. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. Help me.
Wow, video was really cool. Song was really cool too. Like I said, catchy, very catchy. Loved the breakdown section. It says over 1 billion views. Damn. All right. Yeah. Okay. Any comments? Let's see. The song is lyrically immaculate, sounds incredible. Even after 7 years have passed, it never gets old. This song's gonna hit 1 billion views. It's just taking its time. Yeah, well, it did now. That was a year ago. The song's a masterpiece even in 2022. Yeah. All right. Let's check out the lyrics. So Ride is about the journey of life. Throughout the song, Tyler's lyrics indicate that he feels like dying is easy, but finding someone or something to live for is life's challenge, or ride. The song contains heavy reggae influences. I noticed that. Yep. The song also contains callbacks to various 21 Pilots songs, including Heavy Dirty Soul, Lane Boy, and Ode to Sleep. During their performance at KROQ's Almost Acoustic Christmas concert in 2019, Tyler shared a story about the song. The chorus was just an idea. It was something that I had hidden away, and I showed Jenna, his wife, the song, and I didn't know if she would even know what I was trying to do with it. And she said, I like that Ride song. And I was like, well, first off, it's rhyme. And she said, no, it's not, it's Ride. And I said, okay. So I finished the song, I recorded it, released it. It's become one of my favorite songs we've ever put out. Piece of Peace and Son's Peace of Mind use heavy alliteration as well as homophones. All right. There's lots of imagery in the song. All right, let's take a look at the actual lyrics, which there were a lot of. He was rapping during the second verse. I just want to stay in the sun where I find. I know it's hard sometimes. Pieces of peace in the sun's peace of mind. I know it's hard sometimes. I think about the end way too much, but it's fun to fantasize on my enemies who wouldn't wish who I was, but it's fun to fantasize. Daylight can provide glimpses of comfort in a perpetual storm of confusion. Instead of having to face dark times and struggle with his doubt, Tyler would rather remain in the sun all the time. He would rather be perpetually happy and confident with himself. References to the sun's warmth and light offering comfort appear on a few other songs, including Drown, Taxicab, and Semi-Automatic. The sun could be a metaphor for God's son, Jesus, who called himself to light the world. These tribulations could be what Tyler refers to when he sings, I know it's hard sometimes. He's also said in the past that night is when all his insecurities truly affect him. So this line is him begging for night to never come. Watch the official music video. Notice he put on, when it got dark, they put glasses on. It was like they were putting on a mask almost. Let's see. Think about the end way too much. In strange ways, Tyler enjoys thinking about death and what will happen after it. He spends a lot of his time thinking about it. He says in street poetry, and now also in Heavy Dirty Soul, death inspires me like a dog inspires a rabbit. He wouldn't wish his position on his worst enemy, be it his fame, fortune, or demons, but that said, Tyler admits almost shamelessly that he enjoys thinking of his enemy's pain. He has talked about it before in Semi-Automatic, where he remarks about enjoying seeing some people cry. Okay then. Whoa, 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 I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. That's a really good chorus, actually. The ride is a metaphor for his life, much like how often life is referred to as a journey. Falling refers to the negative thoughts in both verses. In most 21 Pilots songs, falling usually means to fall away from faith or to be consumed by doubt. I don't want to fall away from the song Fall Away. I don't want to fall in love with falling, Aircatcher. Taking my time on my ride is about life. Tyler knows death is coming for him, so he might as well live while he can and enjoy the life that he has. Yep. It's intense. The lyrics are intense. Then this faster verse, I'd die for you. That's easy to say. We have a list of people that we would take a bullet for them, a bullet for you, a bullet for everybody in this room. But I don't seem to see many bullets coming through. Metaphorically, I'm the man, but literally, I don't know what I'd do. I'd live for you, and that's hard to do, even harder to say when you know it's not true, even harder to write when you know that tonight there were people back home who tried talking to you, but then you ignore them still. All these questions, they're for real. Like, who would you live for? Who will you die for? And will you ever kill? Or would you ever kill? Damn. Who would you live for? Who would you die for? And would you ever kill? Good line. It would be easy for him to die for someone. Finding someone to live for is the hard part. Tyler has previously shared suicidal thoughts on songs like Heavy Dirty Soul. Death inspires me like dog inspires a rabbit. While some people have a simple I'd take a bullet for you list, Tyler extends his list to the whole clique, which is the fan base name. He wrote the song knowing he would be singing it while touring, and the room refers to a concert hall. This lyric ties into track 6 on the album, which is called Lane Boy, where he says, but let's backtrack back to this, who would you live for and who would you die for on that list. All right. In reality, having a chance to literally take a bullet for someone is quite improbable, so he looks at it in a different way. Instead of dying for you, he's going to live for you, which is harder, because you have to live for someone with actions, not just words. And taking a bullet is a metaphor for giving up some part of his comfort or happiness in order to ensure that the people on his list, in order to ensure the comfort and happiness of the people on the list. In the last line, he clarifies that although he can say he will be there, he doesn't know it will happen. If a situation like that actually came up, it's simply too extreme to imagine. I'd live for you, and that's hard to do. It's really, lyrically, wow, it's super powerful. All right. Another song where I really appreciate the perspective that he's bringing to the table. I like that. Again, let me know what other 21 Pilots songs I should check out down below. If you're not willing to live for yourself, you can't live for anyone else. Well, that's a line right there. For those suffering from depression, it's relatively easy to say you'd take a bullet for someone, but to say that you will live for someone is much more difficult. Taking a bullet for someone is a one-time demonstration of your love for someone. Living for someone is harder. It requires you to do things every single day to show them that same love. And it may be a reference to his faith, as both Tyler and Josh are Christians. It could be a reference to how hard it is to live for God. For example, it is hard to do, especially when you know you won't. You could as well be lying. Okay? These lines address that feeling of wanting to talk to someone but being unable to dedicate your attention to them, so you simply don't dedicate any attention at all. There were people back home who tried talking to you, but you ignore them still. He said in interviews that sometimes on tour he doesn't have as much time as he would like to talk to the people he cares about. He would get a call from his family or friends back home, and he would press ignore because he didn't have the time or the energy to talk to them. Yep. Occasionally people will contemplate serious and difficult philosophical questions, such as figuring out who they would live or die for. Tyler doesn't want these questions to be thought of as if they're trivial. He's insinuating that not only are these questions relevant to human existence, they may in fact be the most important existential questions for people to ponder. To live for someone is either to devote your life to that person's well-being or to cling to them as the sole purpose of your existence. And this can be interpreted as a religious expression, as many Christians use the term living for Christ to mean that service to God and others is the driving force in their lives. To die for someone is to sacrifice your own life in order that they might live. This idea calls to mind the religious illusion of Jesus' crucifixion, seen by many Christians as the ultimate expression of love. In Orthodox Christianity, Jesus is believed to be God himself in bodily form. The motif of Jesus' death to save mankind is referenced in a car, a torch, a death, in which Tyler comes to the realization of just how important and compassionate God is, where he says, the air begins to feel a little thin as we're waiting for the morning to begin. But for now you told me, just hold this jar, and when I looked inside I saw it, held your heart. For me to walk away with, I began to understand why God died. Tyler's not talking about killing another person. He's talking about killing himself, or blurry face killing his dreams. So what he's really saying is, would you let your demons take over you? Interestingly, in the song Lane Boy, he says, I'm sorry if that question I asked last scared you a bit, like a hazmat. While his verse in Ride is about who he would die for, the last verse in Lane Boy is literally about who he would kill. Okay, then a repeat of the chorus, and then this section, which is incredibly simple, but it's deceptively simple, where we've got the little piano part, and he just says, I've been thinking too much. Help me. For me, personally, I analyze a lot of things, kind of overanalyze a lot of things about myself and about the world around me and about the people that I interact with, and so this line hits close to home. From Trapdoor, nothing kills a man faster than his own head. This whole song is about Tyler thinking about the end, as it says in the beginning, and it leads to him questioning himself about who he'd live for, die for, or even kill for, and these are some pretty serious moral questions that can wear a person out. Hence, he's been thinking too much and has started just crying out for help. When someone is depressed, they can sometimes recognize that they've been thinking too much, and if they don't say something, self-harm or suicide becomes more likely. Tyler is acknowledging that he is his own worst enemy. He is putting a lot on himself and is being too hard on himself, but he cannot help it. He knows that he's thinking too much, but he can't stop. Help me. All right, then a repeat of the chorus and a repeat of the outro, and then we come to the end. That's the song. Thank you very much for joining me. I enjoyed that. Let me know what other 21 Pilots songs you'd like me to check out. And as I've been doing at the end of every video for the past little while, I'm going to plug my own music really quick. I have an album coming out on April 1st, which I'm really excited to share with you guys. It's kind of personal. I did a lot of... I was originally going to try to record it at a studio, but it was too expensive, like way too expensive. So I started just recording stuff, and though it doesn't sound as good as it might have, or like as professional as it might have from a studio, I actually really like the lo-fi sound that it ended up having, and it allowed me to experiment a lot more. So yeah, plus, you know, I was inspired by a bunch of lo-fi music anyway, so it worked well. But yeah, it's coming out on April 1st. That's the actual date it's coming out. It's going to be on Bandcamp. It's called Mania Machinations. It's under the name Daniel Profeta. But if you want to check out what's already been released, there are music videos for a song called Just Kidding and a song called Distorted Waves on my other YouTube channel, which is just called Daniel Profeta. Thank you so much if you do decide to check that out. I really do appreciate it. It's a first step. But anyway, let me know what other 21 Pilots songs you'd like me to check out, or any songs, and I will see you guys soon. Deathstroke 9, out. I hope you're having an awesome day. Stay safe, stay sane, and God bless.